you couldn't stop raving about after your trip to Italy.
Ah, the elusive quest for replicating past pleasures.
Exactly. You meticulously recreate the recipe, same ingredients, even splurged on that fancy imported cheese, because it wasn't the same.
You've stumbled upon a fascinating facet of pleasure, the interplay between memory and expectation.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're tackling this idea of attachment to pleasure. We'll explore how our desire to relive past experiences might actually be making us suffer.
Our source material for this deep dive, excerpts from a text intriguingly titled Apego al Placer,
Which translates to,
Attachment to Pleasure.
catchy, right? I'm hooked
Yeah.
already. So this text delves into how we get stuck in this loop of chasing these fleeting highs.
The author's central argument is that it's not enjoying pleasure itself that's the problem.
Okay.
It's our tendency to cling to the memory of it.
Ah, I see.
That's where the suffering begins.
Okay, so let me see if I'm following. We have this amazing meal, that unforgettable vacation. We're totally present, enjoying every second. But then it ends.
And that's when things get complicated.
That's when we get tricked.
Exactly. The text highlights how the instant the experience is over, we latch onto the memory. We replay it in our minds, but there's a catch.
Our memory's playing tricks on us.
Our memory isn't a flawless recording.
You mean it's more like a faded photograph than a high-definition video?
Precisely. Our memory is constantly being reconstructed, often in a way that romanticizes and idealizes the original experience.
So we're not just remembering the pasta, but we're remembering that cute little Italian restaurant, the laughter with friends, the joy of being on vacation. It all gets mixed together.
Exactly. And because those layers are so deeply embedded in the memory, we're chasing something that's impossible to replicate. We're chasing a feeling, an idealized version of the past.
And we all know chasing ghosts never ends well.
Yeah.
It makes me think of that saying, you can never step in the same river twice.
That's a great segue to our next point, the concept of impermanence. The text emphasizes that everything changes. Nothing stays the same. And this idea of impermanence, it's not just some abstract philosophy.
Right.
It's woven into the fabric of our lives.
It's like trying to wear your favorite childhood shoes as an adult.
Oh, I like that.
They're the same, but something's just off.
Exactly. And the text illustrates this beautifully with a quote from Heraclitus.
Oh, let's hear it.
No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man.
Whoa. That's really something. You are constantly changing, just like everything around us.
Exactly.
Yet here we are, holding on to these fixed ideas of past pleasures.
It's a paradox, isn't it? And this very concept, it's not just limited to ancient Greek philosophy.
Yeah.
It finds its way into various schools of thought. Even the teachings of Christ, they touch upon this notion of impermanence, particularly when you consider the fleeting nature of worldly pleasures.
It's so true. I mean, think about a song that takes you right back to senior prom. Butterflies, awkward, slow dances, the whole deal.
Ah, yes.
But listen to that same song years later. Your feelings might be totally different.
Absolutely.
Nostalgia, maybe a touch of sadness, or even just like